Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field for day 2 of the Lynn City Soccer Championship Tournament. Lynn Classical, this is the girls' version. Tonight, the boys were decided it'll be St. Mary's and Classical in the final, Tech and English in the consolation round. And now, Lynn Classical is going to try to duplicate what the boys did last night. The girls will try to knock off Tech tonight and move into the final. The winner of this Classical Lynn Tech game will take on the winner of Lynn English St. Mary's. And the weather has cooperated so far. We had threatening rain all day long. It rained hard. There was thunder. I didn't see any lightning, but there was thunder and there was heavy rain. Then it stopped. Looked like it was going to start a couple of times, stopped. And now it's a nice night. It's a nice night to sit out. The sun is not bothering us like it normally does on a bright sunny night here at Manning, with looking right into the sun here from up in the press box. So it's a nice night to sit in the stands and watch the girls' soccer. So let's hope the weather stays that way. And again, our thoughts and our prayers go out to all those people in Texas who are being devastated by the weather and the storm and the floods, and now those in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands and possibly Florida, and with the next hurricane, Irma. Let's hope that everybody gets back on their feet and get their lives back on track. Bruce Diver is the head guy for Lynn Tech. I think it's his second year. And Mike Iarati in his first year, taking over the reins for Lynn Classical. And Bruce Diver has his work cut out for him because he's got an awful lot of girls. He's got a huge program. But he doesn't have a lot of experienced players. Popped out in front of the net, trying to get control. They knock it up over the net and out of play. They lined it up right about the 5-yard line and got a little too much foot into it and knocked it up over everything. And the problem, again, we had it last night with the Lynn Tech boys. We're going to have it with the Classical girls. Their numbers, they've got a green shirt, and the numbers are virtually the same on the back, and they're very hard to pick up. Jordan Summerton is the keeper for Tech, and she's going to kick it away. Callie Madonka is the goalkeeper. Another shot by Classical goes wide. I believe that's Julia Jordan who had both shots. The first one went over the net. This one went wide. I'm going to go out. I think it went off Classical because I think one of the Classical players for Team Adjurdia, they didn't call it. Looked like she went up to get it. Looked like it grazed right over her shoulder. Classical keeping it in the Tech end. Broken up. It goes out off Classical. Jordan again. Dumps it towards the net, and they call Classical offside. There were a couple of them offside. Julia Jordan's nice lead pass was going to send Gerdia in, but she was way out in front. And Summerton will kick it away. Classical coming down the far side. Pass slips by everybody, but then from out in front, shot just went wide. That's Jordan again. Got the left foot on it and just pulled it a little far to the right side. Actually hooked it to the far side. She would have pulled it to the near side. Summerton will kick it away again. It's been all Classical here in the first 5 minutes. Classical coming right back at it. Down deep, far side, trying to throw it in front. Blocked and gets knocked out by Carolyn Pojoy. And Classical will get a corner kick, I believe. It'll come from the far side. Out in front, loose, still loose. Tech finally clears it away. Good job out in front. And now the pass goes off the foot of Classical out of play. I mentioned Bruce Diver. His assistants are Fernando Medrano and Roxana Diaz. For Classical, I mentioned Mark Iorati, new head coach for Classical. They wound up with a coach that left almost midway through the season last year. Tom Sawyer, the basketball coach, took over. And now Mike Iorati, he's very happy he's got the job, and Classical should be happy they got him. He'll do a good job. He's a good guy. And he's ably assisted by Kelly Lombard and another member of the Iorati family, Greg Iorati. Classical kind of come right back at it. And it's not past the end line out of play. And Summerton once again will exercise her foot. Bodies go down, and they're going to call Tech. Yesenia DeLeon bumped into one of the Tech players, and she went down, so they called it. Tech gets, Classical gets the free kick from just inside the 25. Goes off the head out in front of Gerdia. Deflected away. Classical trying to walk in. They get loose, and they knock it wide. They were dead out in front. Summerton came out and kind of cut the angle down. They tried to go around her. When they went around her, they knocked it wide. So Classical all around the net, but not getting anything into the net. And once again, Summerton will kick it away. Classical controlling down deep, throwing it to the net, and it's knocked away. It was Somerton came out, didn't get a hand on it with Byer. It was going to go wide, and the defense out in front, I think it was Pojoy, just kicked it out of bounds. And the corner kick now will come from the near side. And they kick it right out of bounds. Didn't come close to getting it to the net. So this is not a videotape replay. This is Somerton kicking it away again. And kind of shanked that one. Klasko gets around the defender. And then coming over and knocking out is Pojoy. He's playing well defensively for Tech. Another corner kick coming from the near side. He kick a ground ball this time out in front. And Gertie got a foot on it, and she was spinning around and knocked it shy of the goal. Trying to tuck it inside the near post. Kicked it out of bounds. So with 10 minutes and counting into this first half, Tech just playing defense here, just trying to keep Klasko off the board. As I mentioned last night, normally we go through the season, ties are ties, but in this is a tournament, so except for the consolation round, ties will be played to come up with a winner because somebody has to go to the championship round from the games here tonight. And then in the championship rounds, boys and girls, somebody has to win. All other games, ties would be ending up ties. But they'll be played out here tonight. Should it end up in a tie. Broken up nicely by the Tech defense. And first time Tech gets the ball over the Klasko side of the 50-yard line. And Klasko takes it right back. That's a couple of nice defensive plays by Joanna Lopez. And there'll be changes made for Klasko. Klasko obviously in their green and gold, Tech in their white shirts with blue shorts. Pojoy is trying to kick it out of bounds. She kicked it back towards the net. And then Klasko tried to keep it in and went out off Klasko. It was going to go out. They tried to save it. And it went out anyway. I think that was Mackenzie Shea that it went off. Again, bodies go down. A collision. Both players went down. Nice little shift. And then block. Nice defense again by Tech. Mackenzie Shea made that nice little movement to get around one, but then her shot got blocked and wound up going out off Klasko. Mackenzie Shea, the pass gets through. I don't think they thought the pass was going to get through. She passed it through and by everybody, and it rolled in. Somerton was able to grab it and kick it away. Mackenzie Shea gets the shot off. One hop to Somerton. Good effort. Somerton's been busy here in this first half. Mackenzie Shea trying to keep it in. Tracks it down deep. And it gets knocked out by Lopez. Another corner kick for Classical. She doesn't take it. She leaves it. And now they kick it wide. They ran a little play out of bounds. She just touched it in and then ran to the net, left it there. And then when he came back, they kicked it wide behind the net, so the play didn't work. Tech breaks it up. Jessica Rodriguez with a nice play breaking it up. Now Classical gets it back. They were looking to throw it out in front. They wound up throwing it behind the net again. Classical has put an awful lot of pressure on, but they're not able to get a real good shot on net yet. They had a couple from Julia Jordan. One went over the net and one went wide of the net. Other than that, they've been controlling the ball, staying in the Tech end. But they haven't got a real good shot on net. They haven't really tested Somerton. There's Pojoy with another nice defensive play, and she saves it from being a corner kick and knocks it out of bounds. Glasgow will get the throw in from the far side. Pojoy out there directing traffic defensively. And this time it goes out off Rodriguez. Lopez knocks it out. Here we go with another corner kick. Headed out. It went off Pojoy. She tried to head it away and headed it behind the net out of play. And Klaska will do it again. Corner kick coming from the near side. Somerton got a piece of that one and went all the way to the net. Tech will clear it away. Somerton came out in traffic. Looked like she got a couple of hands on it. Haskell coming right back. Lopez booted it away. And now Mackenzie Shea again trying to get around the defense. Can't get around Lopez. Tip, shot from long range is going to go wide right. and out off the foot of Chloe Kebrew. High school has no seniors. They got a bunch of juniors, but they got no seniors. Tech finally knocks it deep. Deepest it's been in this first half, all the way back to the classical end. Classical knocks it into the Tech bench area. Tech will get the throw in. Closing in on the halfway mark of this first half. No score, Classical and Lynn Tech. This is the Lynn City Championship Soccer Tournament kicking off the season here. We had the boys last night, the girls tonight. The winners and the losers will play Saturday. And this starts the season here on TV 15. This being Wednesday night. Big doubleheader football game on Friday night. Classical and St. Mary's will be playing in the doubleheader. And then in between the championship and the consolation games of this city championship tournament, Lynn English will entertain Beverly here at Manning Field. Mackenzie Shea, pass, broken up. They knock it to the far side. They're not going to be able to save it. It's going to go out of play. Tech will get the throw in. And it goes out off Tech. Classical will make wholesale changes. We mentioned very early on, but Callie Madonker is still in net for Classical. She's been there all alone by the phone. On the other side, Somerton has been very busy. Out, and here we go. Another corner kick, this one coming from the far side for the Lady Rams. For Classical, it will be a little different year this year with Medford, Malden, Everett, and Somerville coming into the league. It'll be a little bit of a different schedule. A little easier for Classical and English. Looking at their schedules in the past years, you go into the season playing 18 or 20 games, and you're looking saying, we can almost guarantee we're going to have 6 losses right off the bat.
Great defense going into that.
Because they were going to have to play Beverly, Danvers, and Peabody twice, and those are the 3 major powerhouses in the Northeastern Conference girls soccer. And now they're not playing those teams. When they made up the new schedule, so a little, not easy, but easier, and you still have to play the games. Classical just barely kept it in. And they call Classical offside, I think. Pojoy gets a chance at kicking it away. Lopez knocked it loose. Broken up. Glasgow knocks it deep, and they're not going to be able to save it. Oh, they did save it just before it went out. And they shanked. Gertie set it across. Set up, I think it was Jordan that got set up. Tech looking to get there. Couldn't quite get there first. It was a race to see who was going to get there first. Glasgow got there and knocked it out. Pojoy knocks it out. Carolina Catano was the one that was in that foot race for Tech, trying to get to the ball first and maybe have a breakaway. And she just got nipped almost at the wire. Shot off the side of the net, and that's been the story for Glasgow. They've been close enough to get shots off, but they haven't put too many on net. "15 minutes and counting left in this first half, no score. Glasgow's done everything they could. They've kept the ball virtually 99.9% of the time inside the Tech 50-yard line, but in Tech territory, but they have been able to get a good shot on net. Off Gertia, and there's Pojoy again with the nice defensive play, booting it away, not letting Gertia get to it and get a shot off. Caroline Pojoy has played very well. And here we go again with a corner kick. And this is Alexis Ferraro who's going to take it from the near side. With the left foot. Pojoy knocks it away again. We'll do it again. X actually went off Glasgow, and Tech knocks it out of bounds. Lisa Chumbo was the one that knocked it out. Glasgow keeps it in, and they knock it out. And went out off Ariana Cadenas. And now they call it off Glasgow. Tech will make a couple of changes before they throw it in. They have to hustle off the field. Gertia trying to get control. Pojoy breaks it up. Gertia keeps it in. And now they're saying it went out. So Tech will get to kick it away. Every year they have a cause, charity, if you will, for the money that's made, the net coming out of this tournament. Nice gesture on Jeff Newhall and his crew. Get it together. and they run it very well. A lot of people getting together to make sure it goes off well. And this year, the proceeds will benefit the Boys and Girls clubs, plural, of Greater Houston, where that devastation hit. And it's a great idea for the people. Jeff Newhall, the AD of St. Mary's. It's a very good cause. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Houston and those that are in the way of Irma, who's now packing strong winds, and hopefully Irma won't cause as much destruction, if any, the likes of which Houston has seen. That's when you think you have problems, you look at those people with nothing to go back to, not even the clothes on their back. You don't really have problems like those people have problems. And you hope you never do. And our thoughts and our prayers go out to them. I hope they get all the help, the financial aid, or whatever they need to get back on their feet and get their lives together. Good, you blocked this. Pojoy again, making a defensive play. Classical passed the ball well. They wound up what looked like a good shot, and Pojoy just took it away. Bouncing around toward the middle, trying to get the shot off. Somerton slides down, gets both knees on the ball and knocks it out. Nice job by the goaltender, Jordan Somerton. "10 minutes and counting left in this first half. And again, Glasgow right out in front. They might have been too close for that one. They were dead center, and they picked it, and again, knocked it high over the net. They've done everything but put it in the net. And that's another time that Tech breathes a sigh of relief. Bruce Diver, their coach. Here comes Classical again. It slips by down the far side. And they're looking to throw it out in front. They throw it high in the air, way behind the net, out of play. And Mark Iorati must be talking to himself on the sideline. He's looking, saying, we've got some golden chances. We're just getting under the ball a little too much and lifting pop flies instead of line drives. Tech takes it away. It's going to go out off Classical, I think. Joanna Chilel, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, was battling and got knocked out. I got one of the athletic directors sneaking in behind me, Dick Newton. I got to give him airtime because in spite of what I did when I coached him way back 100 years ago, he turned out pretty well anyway. But Dick, everybody thinks now that the season has started, your job is over. You got nothing to do anymore, right? Because everything is going to go perfectly normal. There'll be no rainouts, no bus transportation. They won't have to cancel anything. AD, you can just sit back in a rocking chair and take the rest of the season off, right?
I wish. No, the job is constant. Every day there's something going on. We're doing rosters now, finalizing physicals, buses. It's just every day something's up.
You look now back when, I'm not going to mention when I was in high school, but when you were in high school, there weren't as many sports. Like you got now lacrosse and volleyball, and so it was a little bit easier back then. But now, I mean, just take this place, Manning Field. It's going almost like 24/7 with Pop Warner, East and West, and the Generals, and the semi-pro, and the semi-pro soccer. And it's hard, if you have a game weathered out here, it's hard to get it back in with everything, all the scheduling.
Yeah, there's a lot more sports. I'd like to add a couple more if we could in the spring. But the AD's job's changed. There's much more paperwork. There's concussions. There's forms to fill out. There's a lot to it.
Oh yeah, no question.
A lot more.
No question.
A lot more than some people think.
Right. Yeah. Are you pushing for a raise here? Is that why you're talking like this?
No, I'm not pushing for a raise. That's for sure.
But
Billy Devin might, but not me.
Yeah. No, I don't think there's many people around that would take your job and wants to. You don't have to worry about anybody shaking up behind you saying, "Push Dick Newton out. I want to get his job," because not many people standing in line looking for it.
Well, I don't know if they like the hours. Let me see. I got to school this morning at 6:30, and it's I'm looking at my watch, and what are we talking about? It's 5:38, and I'm still here. So, hey, my team's playing at 7 o'clock, so it's all fun. It's what you asked for,
Well, congratulations, you guys, all of you. You especially, you do a really good job, and
you do a very good job.
In spite of me coaching you, you turned out pretty well. But
maybe when I retire, I'll be a sidekick. What do you think?
And yeah, absolutely. And thank you very much for all the help you've given me.
Thank you.
All right. Dick Newton was an outstanding pitcher at Lynn English, and most people don't know he's a pretty good quarterback, too. He played basketball with me when I coached St. Joseph CYO. As Steve Krause would say, didn't you coach everybody in CYO? I answer, just about. Winding down, we got 4 minutes left. This Classical will get another corner kick. And Classical has had all kinds of opportunities, but they've hit pop flies over the net, wide of the net. Tech has only got the ball across the 50-yard line a couple of times, and it came right back quickly. And they finally score. Point blank range from about the 10-yard line. It popped out, wound up on the foot. I think it's Rachel Jordan. And with 3:45 left, Classical finally cashes in after all that pressure. I think I said Rachel Jordan. It's Julia Jordan. Knocked out by Tech. Mackenzie Shea will put it in play. And she bangs it out. She banged it off Adriana Torres. Classical coming back at it. They got numbers. If they can get it out in front. Pojoy banged it off a Classical leg. Pojoy's been very active in front of the net for Lynn Tech. Tech has been back on their heels through the entire half, just trying to keep Classical off the board. Classical finally get on the board. And a rifle shot from about the 5-yard line from Julia Jordan think they said Rachel Jordan. I think that was her sister that played last year as a defender. Walking in, the shot in the far corner. Summerton come out and try to cut down the angle. And Classical banged it home, so in the space of about a minute and 40 seconds, Classical has put 2 on the board. And Stefani Hash Lalinga controlling it. Now gets by Mackenzie Shea, and it's going to roll out of bounds. We're in the final 2 minutes as Pojay makes another defensive play. Winding down this first half, Classical scored with 3:45 left, and just about a minute left, they put another one in, or a minute later. So the space of about a minute and a half, minute and 40 seconds, they scored 2 after Tech had shut them out. Knocked away, and then Pojay knocks it out of trouble. Mackenzie Shea looking for the return pass, and there's Pojay again breaking it up. Broken up nicely by Pojay again. And they blow the whistle, and that's going to be it for the first half. So it was Classical dominating, but they couldn't put the ball in the net. They were hit over the net, wide of the net. They popped one from 2 feet out in front. They got their foot on it, lifted up over the net, out of play. They finally turned around, and they finally scored 2 in about a minute and 40 seconds. They put 2 on the board, and that's where we are at halftime. It's Classical 2, Lynn Tech nothing at halftime. Welcome back to Manning Field as we're set to start the second half. As we mentioned at the start of the game, Classical's trying to duplicate the boys' team. The girls are trying to win like the Classical boys did, and it would be both Classical teams in the championship final of this Lynn City tournament. It was 0-0 for just about 37 minutes. And then all of a sudden, Classical, they've been getting shots from the right side, the left side, the couple of point-blank shots they have, they chipped it up over the net. They finally got wide open, and it was Julia Jordan, dead center, from about the 5-yard line. And she just ripped it past Somerton for the 1-0 lead. And then a very pretty goal. Somerton come out and try to cut down the angle, and Mary Collins was able to push it by her, get it by her, and tuck it inside the far corner coming down the right side. And that's where we are as we start the second half, 2-0 Classical. And it was Classical dominating possession and keeping it And again, missing a shot. They walked in. They had an opportunity. And might have been the defense leaning on Rachel Jordan a little bit. But she chipped it wide right. But again, Classical, another scoring opportunity. They've had a few. Tech just almost sitting back playing defense, saying, let's keep them away from our goaltender as best we can. Now they come walking in. The shot, Somerton reached for it. It went over her shoulder and just stuck inside the near post. It just got inside the near post. I believe that was Chloe Kebrew. Again, it's difficult to pick up the numbers for Classical because they blend into the back of the uniform.
I mean, you know, I think at first she was trying to maybe do too much, you know, and I think she's so, amped up to get ready and get going. And I think, I think she thinks this whole year, we lost the North Final, we wanted the year out, I think she wants to duplicate her sophomore year, which, you can't do right off the bat, because when you miss the whole year, your timing and everything is, still coming back, but, during the scrimmages, as we've gone through the preseason and, later on in the scrimmages, she's getting back to where she was, 2 years ago.
I think I said it was Chloe Kebrew. I think it was Abigail Iorati that scored the goal. Again, it's hard to pick up the numbers. So it was Abigail Iorati. She walked in and drilled it to the net and went just over the left shoulder of Somerton, and it just snuck inside the near post. Pretty goal by Iorati. Classical has extended that lead to 3-0. They're going a lot quicker than they did in the first half. As we mentioned, Tech kept them off the board for almost, it was 36 minutes and 15 seconds because it was 3:45 when they scored the goal.
So I think defensively, we're pretty solid. I just think our goal scoring is kind of something we've got to focus on. But we're still young. We're a very young team.
Haskell coming back from long range. Somerton smothers it. Pass out in front, and right there to knock it home. Iorati made the pass. I'm looking to see if she turns around, if I can try to pick up her number.
you know what? I do a break now.
Trying to throw it out in front, wound up, swung and missed.
This for future, it's easy to call me on my cell phone. That was my home phone. It's no big deal. Anything else you need, I know from Greg. I'll get anything. You just get back to me. Awesome. Thank you very much. You too. Bye bye.
And again, it's very difficult to pick up the numbers. And I think I'm going to retract that and say that it was Olivia Pedro who got that third goal, and it was Iarati who just got that goal. Pedro made the pass out in front. And Iarati knocked it home, and I think the goal before that was Pedro. But again, the jerseys, the numbers on the jerseys just blend right in. And it's very difficult to pick up the numbers. It doesn't help either that I'm old. Knocked down out in front. Tech trying to clear it away. They finally get it away from harm's way. Glasgow trying to bring it right back to short. Somerton deflects off her and then cleared away by Lopez. And then the shot from long range goes off the side of the net. Somerton will kick it away. They knock it deep. Tech looking for a break. Hustling back. It looked like they might have a breakaway. Glasgow knocked it out. I think it was Sidney Spies, or Spies, that hustled back and knocked it away. And that was Carolina Catano again. She was the one in the first half that had looked like she might have a break. But Spies really hustled back, caught up, and knocked it away. Now they knock it, and that's the first time the Madonka is going to handle the ball. And she boots it out near midfield. Nice kick. Pedro coming up the near side. She's ahead of everybody. Shoots it on that. Somerton knocks it down, and then Pojoy knocks the rebound. Pedro was looking for the rebound to knock it by Somerton. Pojo with another nice defensive play. Killed that, knocked it away, and knocked it out of bounds. Nice bid by Olivia Pedro. And that, of course, is Pistol Pete's granddaughter. Very good multi-sport athlete, as was Peter. Shot. Somerton smothers it off the shot from Jordan. Ten minutes and counting into the second half. Glasgow has put 4 on the board. Walking in again. And defense, I think it was Pojoy, got a little bump, and that cut down the angle and the shot, and Somerton was able to make the save at the side of the net and kick it away. Hojo certainly has been a bright light for Tech defensively. Tech has got a few fans down here, and they get excited just when Tech knocks it deep. Classical hustles and keeps it in. They almost deflected it off, and now it does get deflected off somebody out in front. Jordan hit it the first time. It almost deflected in off a Tech player. Jordan got it back and deflected it off a Tech player. That's her second goal. See if you can go find out who scored the second half goals.
Was it goal?
No, the second half goals.
Oh,
Who scored? That was a play by Jordan. She wound up with it, drilled it. It got deflected by a Tech player out in front, almost into the net. It wound up back on Jordan's foot. And when she hit it, it again just got redirected by a Tech player out in front. Somerton had no chance. And Jordan picked up her second goal. Classical running away with this one. Tech just has not had even close to an opportunity. As quickly as they get it over midfield, Classical takes it right back. Shot went wide. They were out in front again, set up a nice pass. As they turned to take the shot, they just missed the net, and they had almost a wide open net and just shot it wide. Somerton gets it away. Deflects. Classical knocks it to the net. Somerton runs right over the Classical player. It's a collision, and Somerton is down. Let's hope she's going to be all right. The two players going for the ball at the side of the net on the far side, and it was just like a linebacker making a tackle. She's up, and let's hope she's okay. Gingerly walking back to the net. They were both going full tilt, and it looked like the Classical player was going to get the worst of it because Somerton just ran over her. And when Somerton went down, she hurt herself. So it's a corner kick for Classical. Somerton will grab it in a traffic jam out in front of the net. She tried to catch it, missed it. She's still, feeling the results of that collision. You can tell she's still in a little bit of pain. Tech knocks it out of play. 15 minutes in to this second half, Classical has virtually put this one away, leading 5-0. Tech making substitutions. Watching the Tech girls play, you wouldn't think it was 5-0, and this one was virtually over because they're still working hard, trying to make something happen. Trying to throw it out in front. It winds up out in front, and the shot goes wide. There, another golden opportunity from almost point-blank range. That was Jordan again, looking for a hat trick. And she left-footed it wide of the net. And you can see her shaking her head as she turned back upfield. This one, should have had that one. Somerton again will exercise that foot. Left-footed kicker. Haskell pops it up and knocks it out of play. Somerton will get to kick it away again. So, pretty good start for Mark Iorati. I'm going to get a change in net, and I apologize. I don't know who this is because they don't have positions on the roster, so I don't know who the new goalie is. And I think Bruce Diver might have seen that Somerton was a little bit of pain after that collision. She's still feeling it. Jordan gets her hat trick. It deflected off a couple of people. She wound up. She was Julia on the spot. She picked it up and drilled it off the hand of the new goaltender. Just got in and got a piece of it. But that's all she could do is get a piece of it. Couldn't keep it out of the net. Jordan from dead center again drilled it in.
Oh, this is
So we guessed right on the goals after I changed my mind 2 or 3 times. It was Olivia Pedro. It was Abigail Iorati getting the second one. And, of course, Julia Jordan has got the last 2. I keep giving credit to her sister. So they got 2 within a space of about 1 minute and 40 seconds near the end of the first half. Now they've doubled it up. They've got 4 here in the second half, and they're going to get a free kick from very close. They get it in front, bounces loose, and the Tech player put her hand up saying, I shouldn't have done that. And now Classical knocks it home. I think the Classical player, the Tech player was saying, I got it with my hand, and that's illegal. I can't do it with my hand. and I didn't see who got the last goal. I mean, I saw it, but I couldn't pick up the number, and I was waiting to see when she turned around and just substituted, and she went to the bench. But the Tech player reached up, got a hand on it, and assumed that the play was dead. Everybody stopped. And that usually means a penalty kick, I think. And then they just kept the play going. And when everybody finally realized the play was going to keep going, shot went wide, and Gertie coming in from the far side couldn't get a piece of it to deflect it in. The shot went way wide to the far side. Gertie breaking down that side, had a shot at it. And now they kicked it away, but they're going to wait because they're going to make a substitution first, and then they'll re-kick it. So we're halfway through and counting the second half. Shot. Sliced it wide right. Again, they had an opportunity and sliced it wide right. Long lead pass, trying to get it before it goes out. Classical will get there. Tech breaks it up, and they actually knocked it off Classical. So a nice defense out in front. Now they're calling it off Tech. I thought they deflected it off Classical, but I thought Melanie Diaz made a nice play. Corner kick coming up. Tech boots it away. From long range, up over the net and out of play. That was Chloe Kebrew, I believe, with that one-timer from about the 20-yard line. She got a lot of foot into that one and just got it high over the crossbar, out of play. It's going to go out. Off Classical. Tech couldn't figure out, goalie couldn't figure out where to put the ball. Now they finally put it down, and Poggio will kick it away. They kick it deep. And now it gets kicked out. Catano kicked it out. Now Tech knocks it out. Off the foot of Astrid Alvarado. Bounces up, deflecting to the goaltender, who kicks it away. Didn't kick it very far. Put it right in front of the net. And Gertie got a couple of knees on it, bounced it a couple of times, but the goalie was able to pick it off. Knocked away by the defense. Glasgow puts it right back. From long range, blocked out in front. Shot, blocked again out in front. Out off Glasgow, and we got a attack player down. And they're going to help her off the field, I think. No, I guess she said she's okay. She's going to get under her own steam. They'll make a substitution. Miss Gagnon, the outstanding trainer for St. Mary's, who works this tournament, going over to take a look. One tick under 15 minutes left in this opening game of the girls' version of the Lynn City soccer tournament. The boys played last night, the girls tonight. Glasgow is going to make it an all-Glasgow final, the boys and the girls both getting into the final. The boys will be taking on St. Mary's. The girls will be playing the winner of English St. Mary's that's coming up next. Lopez knocks it away. Glasgow will track it down on the far side. And we got a whistle for something. I'm not sure what. They go very quickly and they kick it wide and out of bounds. So Tech will get to kick it away. Glasgow will make wholesale changes. We were trying to figure out who got the last goal. We believe it was Mackenzie Shea. We told you we were trying to pick up her number when she came back upfield, but they substituted for her. And here's Mackenzie Shea with a shot, the save. And now Tech knocks it out of bounds. Shea put it right on net. The goaltender got two hands on it, knocked it away. And then Tech cleared it out of harm's way and knocked it out. And Glasgow will get another corner kick. They've had a few. So we think it was Mackenzie Shea. Out. Glasgow will get the throw in. I think they're calling it off classical. I was waiting to see what the call was. Pojo will get to kick it away. Pojo has played very well for Tech. This is going to go off Tech, and classical will get the throw in. It went out, and they're going to call it off classical. Pojoy again will get to kick it away. So Mark Iarati on his first official meaningful game in his new career as the girls soccer coach at Lynn Classical is going to get a win. Nice way to start. Can't get around Pojoy. Breaks up the play again. Loose, booted away. Booted right back. Tipped away. Still loose. Still bouncing around. Finally deflects to the goaltender who will grab it, boot it away. And again, I apologize for not knowing who the goaltender is because they didn't list positions. In fact, when the roster they gave out didn't even have numbers on. We had to go down sideline and get the numbers of the different players. Roxana Diaz, the assistant, was very nice in putting all the numbers down. But they didn't have positions. And this is an all-out grab. Are they going to give her the goal? She was cutting across. The Lynn Tech player just reached out and got a handful of jersey. And I think they were going to blow the whistle and maybe give a penalty shot. Instead, they turned around and said, never mind. She knocked it home. Olivia White gets that goal. They grabbed a handful of jersey as she cut across, and everybody kind of stopped, and the ball wound up on White's foot, and she just drilled it into the net. So they said, forget the penalty shot, we'll take the goal. Again, give credit to the Tech kids. They're still playing hard. They're still working. They could very easily have said, you know what? We're out of here. Nice defensive play by Astrid Alvarado. Collision. One of the Tech players goes down. It deflects out. Classical will get the throw in. But there'll be a substitution first. Mark Iarati, when he goes home from his first official win as a classical head coach, is going to be saying, I hope they're all this easy. And obviously they will not be. But he'll savor this one because it'll be the first. Out in front, they tried to one-time it and didn't get anything on it. The goaltender came out, had it, bobbled it, couldn't come up with it, and then finally kicked it away. And we got another player down as Miss Gagnon hustles out. 7:01 showing on the scoreboard clock. And the player is up, gingerly walking over to the sideline under her own power, so hopefully she's going to be okay. I hate to see anybody get hurt, especially in a game where it's been over for a while. Glasgow will get the throw in. We go back to the only time the ball has been on the other side of the 50-yard line is when Tech has had a couple of opportunities to knock it deep, and then it was a foot race to go get it, and both times Glasgow won the foot race. Other than that, it's been entirely deep in the Tech end. They've just been sitting back playing defense. We mentioned it'll be a little different atmosphere in the Northeastern Conference with Everett, Malden, Medford, and Somerville coming in. They'll be taking part in all the sports with one exception, the Everett football team. The Everett football team will be playing an independent schedule, but Malden, Medford, Somerville will be playing football in the Northeastern Conference. In fact, Medford opens up their first ever game at Manning Field. We played this Friday night against Lynn Classical in the opener of a doubleheader with St. Mary's playing Saugus in the nightcap. So with those teams coming in, it kind of revamped. There are now 16 teams, 15 for football, 16 for everything else, as Everett will take part in all the other sports except football. So there's 16 teams in the Northeastern Conference. So they sat down and rescheduled everything. Some of the coaches were not happy with, especially in baseball and softball, where you didn't get to play the teams twice. You only get to play each team once. So, and some of those rivalries, of course, it's crazy anyway because you play the 7 games in football, then you go into the playoffs, and after the playoffs, then comes Thanksgiving. So the rivalries, English Classical, Swampscott, Marblehead, Peabody, Saugus, Gloucester, Danvers. Those games are played after some teams have been eliminated from the playoffs, and it takes away a little bit of the shine. They're disappointed after not making it deeper in the playoffs, or you don't make the playoffs at all, and you play 3 meaningless games that don't count anywhere for anything, and then you have to get ready for Thanksgiving. So it kind of in some cases it kind of takes the shine off, and in some cases coaches held their kids out at Thanksgiving because they were going to the Super Bowl and they didn't want people to get hurt. So Thanksgiving suffered by having people sit down. So it's a sticky situation. How you can get it done, and whatever you do, you're not going to please everybody. Because you're only getting to play 7 games in football before the playoffs. Soccer, you get to play either 18 or 20, depending how you make up your schedule. You play at least 18, you could play 20. So you can play your natural rivals a couple of times. Here's another point-blank miss. Gertie out in front, had it. It kind of bounced a little bit high, but she just knocked it wide of the net. Yesenia De Leon knocked it out. Now it goes deep. And Pojoy hustles over and knocks it out of bounds. We're just about 3/4 of the way through the opening rounds of the Lynn City Soccer Championship Tournament. Classical and St. Mary's boys were winners. Classical girls are about to be winners as we're in the final 2 minutes and counting. And English and St. Mary's girls will finish it off tonight. And we'll have our championship final on Saturday evening, 5:30 and 7:30. And the consolations will be in the morning at 9 and 10:30 or so. As they blow the whistle, that's going to be the end of the game. And in between, a long day at Manning Field, English will play football against Beverly. So Tech kept Classical close. It was 0-0, and just over 3 minutes left to play in the game. It was Julia Jordan, followed by Mary Collins, that scored goals about 1 minute and 40 seconds apart. And that made it 2-0, and that's where it was at halftime. But then Classical added 6 big goals in the second half. Olivia Pedro got 1. Abigail Iarati got another one. Julia Jordan got her second and third, getting a hat trick. We believe it was Mackenzie Shea getting 1, and then Olivia White finishing off, making it 8-0. Classical gets a big win. Congratulations to Mark Iarati getting a win in his first game as the head coach of Lynn Classical. And Classical girls follow the Classical boys into the championship round of the tournament. They'll play back-to-back on Saturday night. It'll be the Classical boys against St. Mary's, and the Classical girls will now wait to see whether they play English or St. Mary's, who are about to take the field now, and they will play the winner of that game in the final coming up on Saturday. So Classical, Mendonca pitches a shutout. She didn't have to do much. I think she handled the ball once all game. And Classical winds up winning it 8-0 over Lynn Tech. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm John Hoffman, saying we'll see you next time.